Heartlet. Yeah. Heartlet. Grounded. Aligned. Watch me rise up. I don't chase the tide, I create the flow. Quiet power, watch it glow. No more waiting, no delay. I don't ride the wave, I am the wave. Built from fire, built from grace. Every scar show me my place. No more asking if it's safe. I don't ride the wave, I am the wave. I am the wave, I am the tide. I don't need permission to rise. Aligned, divine, timing on point. Power in my voice. I am the wave, I set the tone. Built this rhythm from my bones. Lead with love, move with grace. I don't find my place, I am the wave. Align, decisive, magnetic, rising. Align, decisive, magnetic, rising. Align, do what says it. Magnetic, move with rising. Decisive, magnetic. I am the wave. I am the wave. I am the tide. Watch how the current multiplies. Lead the way. Live with love. Move with grace.
Hello, we are live. As you can see, I've been a busy mama. You don't have to say everything I say, Baba.
What he said think about
He wants to just show you guys, in case you're watching.
got this on Korea like monster truck, like pickup truck.
Mm-hmm.
The garbage truck I will give you tomorrow.
Okay, show them tomorrow, because I'll go live tomorrow too. So y'all, thank you for entertaining him, my future entrepreneur there. I'm excited about today. Why? Because I'm doing a 7-day live challenge using my Ecamm software. If you don't know how to use Ecamm, it's only for Mac users, so people be hating. I'm sorry if you're using Microsoft, because it is not for you. So, or yeah, because I have Apple everything, but I wanted to jump on real quick, and I have my whole 7-day topics already pre-planned for you. And if in case you didn't know, you're hearing it from me at least. Hopefully it's going to be public soon that OpenAI is sunsetting custom GPTs. I've known for a few weeks now. And even though I've known, I've been dragging my feet because I have over 175 custom GPTs that I have not done anything with. And I'm like, people have been saying that some of they've like gone in and like theirs have been gone missing. So I was like, ooh. So if you're in the same boat, we're not, no judgment, but I'm here to basically talk to you about what this means, because for me, it was huge because I have my alchemized content method and it runs off of custom GPTs. That is the literal framework to how it works. It's stacking specific GPTs to work with it. So I don't know what it was. The universe just like was telling me in my dreams I needed to come up with something better. So I already started creating a better system that is not platform dependent when it comes to my own frameworks, my course, and how people use the alchemized content method. It doesn't relieve the problem that I still have of I have really good custom GPTs that I've created over the last few years, and they're going to just disappear. And what have I not done? This brought up just it magnified the real problem that it's not really a custom GPT or an open AI problem. It really magnified and opened up the reality that it's an us problem. These are our custom GPTs, things that we build for things that are based on our framework, how we teach, are usually knowledge base and experience, and it's our IP that we're just letting like sit there, and it doesn't belong to ChatGPT or OpenAI. So we need to reclaim it. And this just goes to show that I'm at this point where we're waiting for daddy to come home. Language models at this point, all companies, OpenAI, Claude, all of those things, guess what? They do not care about us. And we need to be smart about what we're building, how we're building it, and how we're sharing our content, our IP, and all of the above. So I do have some information that I want to share with you. I have really not been using OpenAI very much. And so if you're like, have no idea what I'm talking about, you don't even know what custom GPTs are, it's cool. It's cool. All right. So this is my ChatGPT account. And the way you get to your custom GPTs is you scroll down. You come here to explore GPTs. Now I have some GPTs that I got from my coach, but you go here to my GPTs on the right hand corner. And the one thing that I will tell you is that this load more takes a while sometimes to load, but thank goodness mine are all still here. You can see the ones that were only for me, ones that actually were open to the public, ones that people actually use, ones like this that obviously I didn't do with anything with, so I could delete them. There's stuff in here that when I really started to look through, I was like, well, it looks like there's some custom GPTs that I created that are a little redundant. They look like it's almost the same thing. I may have tweaked something small to it. So this is a good opportunity for just housekeeping within your AI space, especially for those who like got all excited when we started creating custom GPTs. Some of us obviously went crazy. So these are all mine. Thought I had more than this. That's even better news. Um, and not all of them are probably good. Probably these first few were the ones that I had no idea what the heck I was doing. And then I started doing my training and got certified, really understanding the framework that should be used for like a good source code. And then really went to house and made some really amazing ones when we got to the top. What I want to make sure that we understand is you need to have a file that will help you keep this stuff protected. So what we're going to be doing today, this is your plan for 2026 and beyond. Because what if OpenAI just all of a sudden decides they're not going to be supporting us from a personal perspective, which is kind of the direction that it seems to be going, where they've already started to announce in certain spaces that they're being more business focused. And I think they're just trying to figure out how to deal with like their revenue stream. Claude has skills, but the problem with skills and why custom GPTs were so effective was that it did not show our IP, like the brain of how the skill, like the skill itself. When we shared it with customers, clients, students, we were sharing the front facing face of it, like the front door, the house, so to speak. And they would go through the house and then everything would be decorated. They didn't see any of the stuff in the background that went into it. Like they don't see the foundations, they don't see the wiring inside that makes the house so beautiful and functional and like magical. When you're dealing with skills and you share a skill, they get to see that IP behind it, if you know what I mean. So there goes that part of just being brilliant to be like, how do we create things? Now, there's things like MindPal, which is a little bit more advanced. It is a little bit more expensive when you start to like go into some of it. It requires a little bit more like techiness, I feel like. So that you're never stuck in this situation. It's again, it's not platform dependent. It still allows you to protect that IP on the back end while still being able to forward facing share so that people are seeing the results, but they're not being able to like just duplicate the hard work that you put into creating the magic behind it. So it's something that if you're really sharing a lot of your IP, you can invest in so that you can still protect yourself online. But if you're okay with sharing certain things that maybe was like a free custom GPT, You just need to be mindful in terms of how you share it, and you working with Claude to be like, look, this is my IP, this is my framework, this is the custom GPT that I was giving out for free. How can we adjust it as a skill that doesn't really give so much of my IP? They kind of have to do some of the work. It gives them a similar result, okay, so that they get the win, they get the gifs of it, but they still need me to make it like all happen. Like there'll still be something that's missing. It's not going to be, you know, mom's recipe. Like they still need me to cook it because it's just not going to taste the same. It's going to, you know, fill their palate. It reminds me of my mom's cooking, but it's not the actual like dish. They're like, but I can tell it's not my mom's. Okay. We want that effect. So what you have in a custom GPT is so a lot of people did the create was kind of like the less techie people were letting ChatGPT create it for them. But for some of us that were more advanced that actually had our own IP, we created it from the configures perspective. This is what it looked like when the students or the clients would see it, and this is what we saw on the back end. So we always had a name, a description, you had all the instructions that it had. We usually gave it knowledge bases, and then we gave it permissions of like what it was allowed to do. Plus we always also safegated it like these were only for me. And then we had some that were only available for people who had the link. And then you could always make it so that it was available on OpenAI's like marketplace where people can just Google a problem or a solution, and they would find all the custom GPTs related to that specific like category. So what we're going to do is we're going to use Claude Co-work to essentially do the heavy lifting and go through OpenAI, copy all of my custom GPTs, put it in a Notion headquarters dashboard that it will then create for me. And I'm going to give you guys the actual prompts, believe it or not. So I have my notes here. Now, before I do that, I do want to just explain to you that this is something that I started to talk about it. Say OpenAI disappears. Okay, I went on a tangent and totally forgot to like put it together. My apologies. That's why a lot of people are switching to Claude, because Claude is surpassing what it's capable of compared to what we're getting in OpenAI. But we still have other platforms, and let's just say Claude, like something happens, partnerships are being made. People who are behind these large language models, they don't really care about us. They're on like this race to see who can win in the space of AI and dominate the world with like being the main language model that owns AI, which in fact will own all things. Because if you think about it, y'all, if we lost electricity, or we lost control of open like AI just in general, like doomsday. Everything, they are connecting everything to AI, and that is the part that's really scary. So safeguarding and all that stuff really is important for us to start thinking about, but it's also the thing that it's not going anywhere. And if you're not getting in there and learning these tools, there's a lot of implications. There's a lot of biases that the language models are starting to really, really show. And it's because certain groups, certain people are not using it, and we're being left out of the language model's knowledge bases of the truth. Okay, so we'll go into that in another day. What we really need to focus on today is that you have the same ability, so that it doesn't matter which language model is your choice of the month or the best one to be with. Upgrades happen all the time. So here in Gemini, which is Google's language model, you say this thing is called gems. You can create a new gem. And what is a gem? It's basically like a custom GPT. Notice how it has the same thing. Preview your gem here. It works exactly the same. So my goal is to take all of my custom GPTs and then essentially put them into a Notion. Now, if you're not a Notion user, I totally understand. I'm still in a love-hate relationship. It's very anxiety driving, but I'm focusing on like it's going to get better. It just feels scary because it's new, Anacani, and just not giving up on it because I can see the potential. It just, the formatting works better with a lot. The MD kind of files work really better in Notion. Most of the other language models understand Notion. It collaborates really well with it, as opposed to when I'm working with Google, certain things just don't, they don't just like, they don't mix. They don't like really work like as unison. You kind of see that they're like brothers and sisters, and you see the parts where they kind of were fighting. So I am going to start using gems to share with other people so that it's, I feel like it's still going to be having that chat custom GPT usage. So I'm going to test it out and I'll do a follow-up video to let you know. But I have this feeling like it is going to be something where I can share, and I don't necessarily have to share the back part. I can just share the gem itself. And they have some that they've created for you. You'll see it down here, pre-made by Google. And when you use theirs, because I've used this hand-drawn doodle style illustrator, they have one that creates a book for you. It doesn't, like, if you want to learn how to use YouTube, they've done stuff. I don't get to see the backside, so I'm pretty sure it's the same way. And what do I do with this Notion file that Cowork for Claude is going to create for me? I'm then going to ask Claude to analyze it and tell me which ones are worth actually turning into a skill, and then telling it which ones do I want to still use, help me enhance the ones that I still can use as like freebies, lead magnets for my customers, and then help me turn it into a universal source code that I could have it work with. It doesn't matter which language model. It could still work with Claude. It could still work with OpenAI if they ever bring custom GPTs back. It can work in gems. It can work in personas and Magai. Now, I love Magai. If you don't know Magai, Magai is one of my favorite all-in-one AI platforms, especially if you're a beginner. Why? Because when you're in here and you start a new chat and you're not really sure like your which language model is the best for you, you can have a conversation with literally any of them. They're all here for you. You can have the same prompt be answered by 4 or 5 of them. You can see OpenAI, you can see Claude, you can see Gemini's, you can see Grok, and then you can see Perplexity, and you can ask them the same exact prompt in the same exact chat, and you'll see that specific language model answer it for you in the same chat, just to see like, oh, I like this one better. Now it is based on points because the guy who owns it, Dustin, has to, pay the bills, keep the lights on. Like, it's not something that's free, but he built it because he was tired of seeing small business owners, stop Garfield, be, stressed out about the fact daddy's here. Go see daddy. Within being in the AI space. It also includes other things like all the language models for images and for videos. Okay. So I like it for that specific reason, but what does it also allow you to do? They're called personas. It's the same exact thing. There's some that are created specifically by Magi again, and then there's some that are also, hold on a second. There are some that are also that I've created. Basically took what I had in ChatGPT and brought them over here. And then I've shared those with students who ended up coming to Magi. Because you're only paying one fee, you have access to all of them. You will need to eventually invest in one of the language models, those paid, depending on your usage, but this is a good way to get a handle of like which one's your favorite ones, which ones work for you and your business. And so Magi is kind of my thing. And sure enough, I'm going to make sure that I'm duplicating most of this stuff across multiple platforms, so I'm not stuck when, something happens and I'm like, oh snap, so and so is down. Ain't gonna stop me. I have it somewhere else. So what you need is Claude. Now, if you were in the Facebook group, we just did a free training on Claude, Cowork, Claude Chrome extension. And so this is mine. Transparency, y'all see all the stuff that I'm about to do. We're in Cowork. We need to go into a new task, okay? So this is a several prompt one. It is going to be dropped in the Facebook group. So those of you who are watching on YouTube, there'll be a link to join the Facebook group. You can see it in the Facebook group. We're basically going to need to open up your Claude. Another update, dude. I'm not going to update it right now. You have chat, you have co-work, you have code. Make sure you're in the middle tab. So we want to be in co-work. Now, we want to basically copy the first prompt, which is somewhat long, and it gives it very specific instructions. For those of you on YouTube, I'm not going to read all this because it's freaking long, but I'm going to read you the titles and like the main thing. So the task. Need you to build my custom GPT backup dashboard in Notion is the title. And it says, I need you to help me extract and organize all my custom GPTs from ChatGPT into Notion database so I own my own intellectual property and never lose it. Here's what I need you to do. Step 1, open ChatGPT and extract my GPTs. Step 2, create a Notion database. Step 3, populate the database. Step 4, create a summary. And then important, do not summarize or shorten the instructions. I need the exact full text of every instruction field. You cannot access a GPT or its edits page. Note that in the migration notes field, if you cannot access a GPT or its edits page noted in the migration fields. Save everything locally and in Notion, belt and suspenders. Ask me before taking any action if you're unsure about anything, and then use ask before action acting mode for any file downloads or browser navigations. So I usually do Opus 4.6. You know, I wouldn't use 4.7 for this, and let her have a party, depending on who your Claude is. I know some people like name the language models. I tend to not. And I'm just going to bring this down so you actually can see it in the window. So it's thinking. Now, I do have a second prompt that we're going to give it. Like, hey, I love that you're taking ownership of your intellectual property. Now, sometimes Claude's going to do this. Do you know roughly? I have more than 50. Are you currently logged into ChatGPT in your browser? Yes, I'm logged in. Where in Notion should I create a GPT Vault database? Do you have a workspace in mind? Not sure. Just create it. I don't think I have one already, so I'm saying that because I'm hoping that it's going to look just to see, and then it's going to go ahead and go. So let me look. So it's going to go into the browser. Good, I've got the browser and the Notion tools ready. Let me set up the task list and start navigating. So it's already doing its thing. Let me start by navigating to your ChatGPT, my GPTs page, creating the Notion database at the same time. And I mean, y'all can be going and doing something else. If like my husband wasn't here already, I'd just go be like putting myself on mute. Well, I wouldn't be live, obviously. I would be going and like doing laundry, going and starting, dinner, taking care of my kiddo, doing something else, and then come back because I know this is going to probably take a while, and then do that. Now, the second thing we're going to do is we're going to have it analyze our GPTs and then convert the best ones into Claude skills. But this part's going to take a little bit of time. So we may not need to be, we may not be able to see the whole thing because again, you saw I had a bunch of them. And the second prompt is analyze my custom GPTs collection and convert the best ones into Claude skills backed up to Google Drive. Now I do that just because I am just like nervous about a lot of these platforms. Like, what if one goes down? What if all of a sudden like the cloud gets hacked and all of our stuff like disappears? I had somebody, I don't remember which platform, but everything, all of her like notes and stuff for a client's work that she had been doing just disappeared. I want to say it was with Claude, but I'm not sure. So even with Claude, what if something happens to Claude? Claude is growing at a really fast pace. What if their servers crash and you're like, shoot, I don't have nothing backed up outside of Claude. I'm just using Notion. I already explained to you at the beginning of this video. If you want to know again, go back and rewind it. But I also have Google Drive. So I'm getting just a backup. Because what if for some reason a new language model that surpasses one of these other ones ends up being something that I get pulled towards and it makes sense for me and my business and my clients, but it only has Google Drive connections and not Notion. I don't want to be in that space. So I want to make sure that it's definitely backing it up on both. I don't do it for everything, but for this, absolutely. So still more, I see another untitled and load more. Let me keep going. So it's just going through. This lets me know. Now, if I really wanted to look, I could go into and pull up the actual, what happened? It was like, oh, this one. I don't see, oh, it says Claude is in here somewhere because it says Claude started debugging the browser, but I don't know where that little dude is at because I'm doing it in Claude Cowork again. Sometimes I can tell, which is kind of weird. Anyways, now I have the full list. I counted approximately 73, including a few untitled ones. That's Serious IP portfolio. Now let me create the Notion dashboard and start the first GPT extract simultaneously. So it's going to be a while, like I said. That's why I'm going over this other stuff. So let me just bring this over. Oh, I see it. It's in another browser. Okay, so while it's doing that, so this is the first prompt that we already put. Step 2, create the Notion dashboard. So it's doing that now. Now prompt 2 is to actually analyze it and start. So take my custom GPTs collection and convert the best ones into Claude skills. I just built a Notion dashboard, so it's going to be a follow-up to the once the first thing's done. My custom vault, my custom GPT vault with all my custom GPTs extracted. Now I need you to analyze them and help me figure out which ones to convert into Claude skills. Here's what I need you to do. Read and analyze my GPT vault, score and categorize each ones. It gives them a specific way of how to do that. Build a migration plan, convert now. It gives them phase 1. So create a Notion page called GPT to Claude Skills Migration Plan and organize it like this. Convert like high, medium, low, and then create skills file as a step 4. For a high priority, create a proper Claude skills as an MD file. Each skill must follow this format. Okay, and it gives it the format. And then step 5, save everything to Google Drive. Again, my backup. Okay, so it gives it the format. Step 6, update the Notion database, and then it gives it important notes, tip for best results. Now this tip for best results is for y'all. Run prompt 1 first, then review your Notion dashboard. Don't just blindly be like, oh yeah, I'm pretty sure AI did a fantastic job. No, do not assume that. And then before running prompt 2, set up a cowork to ask before acting mode the first time so that you can make sure that you watch what it does. We talked about that in yesterday's Claude Chrome and Claude Cowork masterclass in the AI Edge workshop. By the way, I have not had a chance to go in because you saw my little 4-year-old's poor little eyes. So that you guys, I'm giving you guys extra days. I probably won't get to it till tomorrow. Just fair warning. I was supposed to close up the shop for the AI Edge Masterclass to get all 6 of my classes for 96 bucks. So if you still want in, you have until literally tomorrow, and then it's going down. You'll only be able to get all my classes a la carte, which actually comes out to more money. So if you have a lot of custom GPTs, more than 20, Cowork may need to work in batches. After prompt 2 is done, you can install your new skills into Claude by going into settings, upload. We talked about that in Claude 101 as part of your AI Edge Masterclass series. Keep your Google Drive backup folder. This is your intellectual property insurance policy. Okay, so this whole thing is going to be in the Facebook group. And like I said, this is going to take a while. I already knew that. And so it's going to do one smart. It's going to extract it, and then it's going to let me know. And it's probably going to be like, okay, I'm gonna like, does it look okay? Can I keep going? Yes or no? And then like I say yes, and then it keeps going. So that is all I have for y'all. Let me just double check that I don't have anything else I was supposed to tell you. So I'm gonna be going live every day for the next 7 days. Um, this should be fun. Closing. So homework, at least export one. Now, if you don't have any custom GPTs, you're on the safeguard. But if you ever start to really get into AI, you're going to see that you need these things. You need a custom GPT or skills or personas or gems if you really want the language models to stop giving you shit. Because what? Shit in, shit out. And what does it do by having these things? It saves time. They're custom instructions that are either designed with your framework, your voice, your expertise to either give to clients or so that the language model understands you and your objectives, your business, your offers, who you serve, all those things. So you're not having to repeat yourself over and over and over. The beautiful thing about Claude is that when you create these skills and you have multiple businesses, it's so smart that you don't have to, like with custom GPTs, you had to tell ChatGPT which ones to use. In this case, we do not, which is the more fantastic way to look at it. So I'm loving it. Again, you cannot do this, cannot have Claude co-work manually do this for you and do the heavy lifting if you don't have a paid Claude account. You can go ahead and do this yourself and do it manually, or at least have your Claude free version, set up the Notion, and then you individually have a VA or yourself go in there if that's where you are in your business and you don't want to invest 20 bucks into the pro account so that you can have co-work do it. You have to have co-work. Co-work only works when you're on the desktop. We went over all of this in yesterday's masterclass. So if you want in, either drop Claude in the comments, and when the individual just that one a la carte module is ready, I'll give it to you. But no, I did not take no time to explain to you basic Claude stuff. That was in our first masterclass. So you may end up having to buy two. And at that price, you might as well just buy all of them. So your homework is to do that. If you have custom GPTs, I just told you how to get Claude to do and get it off. Now, if you only have one, I wouldn't waste Claude's time. Just do it yourself. It's pretty easy. Save it. That's it. That's your first step. Save it somewhere. Notion, Google, both, Notes app. Put it in, on your hard drive. I don't care if you're a Windows or a Mac person. And then tomorrow I'm going to be actually talking about Magi more in depth on, Magi personas and giving you more insight of like how I use Magi in my business, how I create amazing images, and keep all my branding like on point. And yeah, as always, continue to be you, continue to be beautiful, continue leading from your heart. Let me know if this is something that you plan on doing. Have you backed up your shiz, as my coach Molly would say. I'm going to say it my way. Have you backed up your shells? So, because y'all, like, it's something that we have to start doing. And I'm just so happy with some of the new coaches that I've like started to follow and be part of their world and just their elevation in like structuring your business now that we're in the age of AI and really being smart about it so that we're not stuck in some awful place should, you know, it go down. So if seaweeds go bad. So, anyways, continue to be you, continue to be beautiful, continue leading from your heart. If you're watching this on YouTube, my name is Anacani Walters. I am your AI doula. And those of you who are in the Facebook group, you already have access to as soon as this is done with the live. If you're not, I will drop it in the YouTube description for this once it finishes analyzing, so that you can get in on my Facebook group and get all the deets. This is the type of lives and trainings that I usually do in my Facebook group. So I hope you guys had fun. Let me know if this was helpful and if it's making you excited for the next 6 days of Live with Anacani. Not all of them are going to be this long, by the way, but this one was super important. I had to do it anyways, and I'm just bringing y'all on for the ride to let you see it's not that hard. I'm doing it while I'm momming, and He's been home with me since last Wednesday, and I've been able to do a lot. So if I can do it, y'all can do it. All right. Have a good night.